What up, you guys? So I want to talk about I want to talk about negative emotions. Well, not excuse me, not negative emotions. Sorry, negative comments. People make negative comments. How to deal with them. You know, I want you to notice that when people make these negative comments, where your mind takes you next. The next place your mind takes you is you obsess over how they shouldn't have made that comment, or how if you were them, you wouldn't have made the comment. You know what I mean? You got to remind yourself that you're not these people, and you got to pay attention, pay close attention to what your expectations are of these people. We expect messed up people to not be messed up. We expect unrighteous people to be righteous. We expect liars not to lie. You know what I mean? Like, why would you ever expect somebody to be anything other than what they currently are at the moment, And I know that sounds cynical. I know that might sound pessimistic. I do believe that all humans have incredible potential, but I know a lot of them may never unlock it, and they might die being negative. They might die being who they are, messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might take that to the grave. You can, and there's only two options that you have. You know what I mean? Like, get consumed by their negative comments and obsess over how they shouldn't have made them, or learn how to overcome by having empathy, having compassion, loving these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, loving these people will prevent you from getting mad at them all the time. The only people you get mad at all the time is the ones that you don't really care about. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to the words you say about people that you don't care about. It's nothing like the words that you would never say those words about people you love. And you might be like, oh yeah, well, I love these people. That's why, Donald Trump right now, he's held under such scrutiny because, like, a lot of the world hates him. And because people hate him, they're waiting for him to make a mistake. They're waiting for something else they could scrutinize. You know what I mean? So likewise, when it comes to negative content, whether it be on your videos, whether it be face to face, or, maybe you had a huge business plan, business idea you wanted to share with your friend. And as soon as you shared it, they had something negative to say about how you're going to fail, or and then they might turn around. Here's what people like to do, right? Sometimes they'll be negative and they'd be like, I'm just trying to be realistic with you, bro. Or I'm just trying to show you the other side, or I don't want you to get your hopes up. I don't want you to get your hopes too high because I don't want you to be brokenhearted. And they think that that's like something you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. When people tell me their ideas, I'll always encourage people, get your hopes sky high, because you're not doing good in life if your hopes are not high. You know what I'm saying? Not having high hopes leads to depression. It leads to a lot of negative emotions, So anyways, when people make these comments, you got to realize that they're hurting. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're making these comments. Like, if they were happy, they wouldn't have time to engage with you to tell you how your digital product is shit, or you're a terrible marketer, or you're this, or you just want my money, or whatever. Maybe it's not even entrepreneurial type stuff. Like, maybe people have something to say about you took a picture and they don't like your hair, or they don't like your dress, or they don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remind everybody, like, when I do shit that nobody likes, or if I write a song, right? And if you don't like it, it's cool. Like, it wasn't written for you to like. I'm looking for the people that will like the song. I'm looking for the people that will get value out of it, that will appreciate it, whoever those people are. You know what I'm saying? Not everything in this world is created with you in mind. You know what I mean? And negative people think that everything needs to pass through their permission. That's why they're negative. Because if it doesn't pass through their permission, they have an issue and they have to criticize it. Not realizing that what they're criticizing wasn't created for them to like in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I think it's much better to create something and let other people criticize your creation than it is to create nothing and walk around criticizing everybody else, which is what most people do. You know what I'm saying? But these people, here's a couple of reasons to help you understand why these people are making these negative comments. One, they're probably not where they want to be in life. Two, they probably have a super unsuccessful marriage. Their kids hate them. Three, maybe their finances are shit, never have money. They always have to borrow money from a friend, and people are always telling them no. Four, maybe somebody just died, or someone just hung themselves. Someone just killed themselves in their life, someone who means so much to them. And now they're just like, yo, F everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no idea what these people are going through that could make them say the things that they're doing, Empathy, actually, it keeps you sane, man. It prevents you from losing your sanity when you actually care about people making these negative comments. I'll give you an example, right? I knew a person who, every time he stops his vehicle to let other people merge into traffic, he swore that people owe him a thank you. They owe him a gesture of kindness. They owe it to him to, like, wave their hand in the air and be like, dude, thank you for letting me merge my vehicle into traffic. And then he would, like, he would hit his steering wheel and he'd be like, yo, the nerve of these people, man. I stopped my vehicle for you and you can't thank me. He had no empathy for these people. He had no compassion for these people. These people we're only alive to meet his expectation, you know? And I know he didn't think about that on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, like when you have so many expectations, it's almost as if you think that people wake up in the morning to meet your needs, to please you, to be the person that you think that they should be. You know what I'm saying? So something that keeps me at peace is I don't believe you owe me anything. You don't have to say nice comments. You don't have to be there for me. You could walk out of my life if you feel like it. You could pretend to be cool and then all of a sudden we're not. And then like, you know, and I'm going to spend zero time trying to figure any of that out because it has nothing to do with where I'm going or where I want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Like when you become goal orientated, like for real, you stop worrying about the comments that other people are making that are mean, because those mean comments has nothing to do with where you prefer to be in life. And if you're not where you prefer to be in life, then you're going to spend your time consuming these comments and responding back to these people. And that time could be spent executing on your dream. You know what I mean? These people are coming to take your time. And some of you bring a lot of value, right? Some of you bring tremendous value. I need you to know that people that bring the most value, they receive the most criticism. I don't think anybody gets criticized more than parents, more than God, more than Jesus. You know what I'm saying? These people, they're going to get criticized more than anybody else. And they bring the most value, more than anyone else. You know what I'm saying? You think God doesn't get criticized? Like, regardless of how pure-hearted his intentions are, you think people don't sit around their house thinking about how cynical God is, or being mad that they don't like the way he runs the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I kindly remind people that when you create your own planet, when you get your own galaxy, then you can make up your rules. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you don't like God's rules, but it's good that you know the way that things are so you could get on the good side of life. Because when you're on the bad side of life, all you know how to do is get consumed by the way things are instead of being adaptable. So learning how to be adaptable matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's books written on the subject, being adaptable. There's podcasts. There's so much content you could consume. You know, a better use of your time, instead of wondering why people make negative comments. That's not a good question to ask. A good question to ask is, how can I stop getting consumed by negative comments? You start typing that into Google, you start typing that into YouTube and watching how other people overcome and implementing what they say they do works for them. You'll see your whole life change, man. Like, don't be like the people I recently talked to who were like, yo, I heard all that positive shit, man. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for you because you're not applying it. Yeah, you might have heard it all, but how much of what you heard have you applied? You know how many people quote scripture? This is why people think memorizing the Bible does anything for them. Like, it's like, bruh, like, it's not enough to read the Bible. You have to become what you read. It's not enough to read about forgiveness. You have to become forgiving. And once you become forgiving, then it's so much more powerful when you quote what you read. Then you have a reference point to say that this is what molds me into the person that I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many religious people that quote 1,000 scriptures and have nothing but animosity in their heart and hate their job and hate their boss and complain left and right about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they know how, because they probably didn't come to God for his namesake. They probably came to God for what they could get out of him, which is a blessing, take care of my family, meet my needs. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that they look for in the world, they take the same expectations into having a relationship with God, and they wonder why their relationship with God is a roller coaster ride, constantly up and down, because they have no reason to draw near to him unless they need something from him. God is literally, to a lot of people, that one rich friend that you know could loan you money. So the only time you call him is when you need something, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, people don't commune with him, and they wonder why they have unhealthy relationships with God. And best believe, if someone has an unhealthy relationship with God, and they're not going to have a healthy relationship with themselves. If they don't have a healthy relationship with themselves, they're not going to have healthy ones with you either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cycle. Like, you know, one of my good friends, he told me this. He said, every relationship is like a triangle, with God being at the top and you being the corner, you know, the side corner of the triangle. Somebody's on the left and somebody's on the right. And as you both elevate towards God, you also get closer to each other. You know what I mean? And he was saying that this triangle, it works for every relationships, not just marriage, but friendships, partnerships. You know what I'm saying? Everything. like, so yeah, man, you know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, love your neighbor as yourself. I think that's the reason that's a commandment, is because if you don't, then, you know, you're probably going to hate your neighbor. And to the same degree that you hate yourself is to the same degree you're going to hate other people. If you don't love your neighbor as yourself, you're going to hate your neighbor as yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that hate themselves. And of course, if someone hates themselves, of course, they're going to leave negative comments. Of course, they're going to call you a piece of shit. Of course, they're going to tell you that, you know what I'm saying, try to undermine you as a person. It's only a reflection of the emotions that they feel on on a daily basis. When someone tries to say a comment to you to try to trigger a response out of you, the feeling that you're trying to generate inside of you is only a reflection of what they feel on a daily basis. The feeling that they're trying to, generate in you temporarily is a reflection of what they feel every day. So they're trying to get you to feel the same way. You know how they say misery loves company? There's so much truth to that, man. You know what I mean? So I want you to know that one strategy that doesn't work is complaining about negative comments and obsessing over how people shouldn't have made them. You thinking that people shouldn't make negative comments doesn't prevent them from making them. You know what I'm saying? They just continue making them, not caring that you think that they should change, because they don't care that you're being overcome by them. You know what I'm saying? Overran by these people. Like life doesn't care at all. You know what I'm saying? Like either you learn how to adapt or you get crushed by life. You know what I'm saying? And I prefer not to get crushed. That's why I took my mental health serious. That's why I listen to people that have wisdom. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that's wrong in life, there's wisdom that you lack in that department. If finances are suffering, there's financial wisdom that we need to gain to fix those finances. If you're always having issues with relationship, you need relationship wisdom. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple types of wisdom, but in whatever area that you suffer in, there's literally one thing, a lack of understanding. And the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of understanding. The things that you don't understand are destroying you. You know what I mean? Like people say what you don't know won't hurt you, but the Bible teaches that what you don't know is killing you. You know what I'm saying? So for as long as you don't know what you don't know, then you'll never know how to overcome these things. And the only way to overcome these things is to find people that have, you know what I mean? Commune with people, and whatever strong-minded people and I'm sure you got some on your Facebook page, study what they write, study what they say, how they react, have conversations with these people. You have to get curious. I think the greatest thing that the devil could take away from you or me or anybody else is curiosity, like for real. Because once you're not curious, you become a know-it-all. Once you become a know-it-all, your cup is full. When your cup is full, nothing could be added to it, because whatever you consider wise is in your cup, and your cup might be full of foolishness that you deem as wisdom, and it's not. And you're getting destroyed because of what you have in your cup, and you refuse to empty out your cup in replacement with whatever is wise, with whatever will make your life better, with whatever. You know how many anxiety driven people I meet that I tell them that, you know what I'm saying? I tell them about like a better life. I tell them like about other options that they have. And they say, yeah, well, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be me, have anxiety. These people, their cup is full. They don't want to hear wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to hear wisdom, then however life has been, their last 5 years, their next 5 years are going to be the same. Like if you don't like your last 5 years of being alive, like the next 5 are going to be the same unless you implement a change, like it's inevitable, because, the way that you think, the way you perceive a thought, the way you perceive other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to live with somebody and all I did was complain about him. You know what I'm saying? That's because I've trained my mind to see what I dislike about this dude. That's all I saw. You know what I mean? And I didn't have empathy. I didn't have compassion. That's why I was being overtaken by his actions, his words, the things that he does that he shouldn't have done, because I was obsessed with the type of person that I believed that he should be. I had no consideration for him being the person that he prefers to be, or even having a deeper understanding to realize he must be going through something. Turns out dude was suicidal, man. He was going through some stuff, and no wonder, because like he had thoughts that he rationalized that made him not want to be alive, that made him want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like be twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christian dude, and one time his girlfriend or whatever, she chose another man, or she went a different direction, and he started wishing all types of crazy stuff on her. He was like, man, I hope that she gets a STD, or I hope that her boyfriend, mistreats her, so she could realize what she lost, or she could realize, you know what I mean? Yo, when somebody walks away from you and you hope for them to have destructive relationships, you know what I'm saying? How does that do any good for you to say that, to wish that? It only makes you bitter. It only makes you sad. It only makes you, you know what I'm saying? And then we get self-righteous, saying stuff like, man, well, you're the one who's missing out, not me, because I brought more value to this relationship than you ever will. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't their happiness matter at all? No, all that matters is they walked away and they shouldn't have. Now we're obsessed with talking about how they shouldn't have walked away. I loved you so much. I gave you everything. I did this for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if God thought the way that you did, he'd be in heaven right now crying, complaining all day. I do these things for humans. I wake them up in the morning, and before they pray to me, they check their Twitter feed. Before they commune with me, they do this. They call other people. Like, they don't consider me. They don't care about me. I should wipe these people out. Like, man, I hope they have terrible relationships. Like, wait till they need something from me. I hope you come to me needing something just so I could tell you no. For all the times that you walked away from me. These are the type of thoughts that God would rationalize, and that would become normal to him. And if those thoughts were normal to God, you and me, we would have no damn hope at all. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be 1 second away from smiting everything and being upset and saying, I've had enough. That's it. No more grace, no more mercy, no more patience, no more kindness. Now you're getting what you deserve, and that's all you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't deserve anything more than what I believe you deserve at the moment, because, you know what I mean? And then he would feel justified in his wrath towards people, and then everybody would have a bad day. If God had a bad day, everyone has a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, another reason to not get consumed by negative emotions. What's up, Belky? What's going on? By negative emotions is because it affects your family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that poison gets inside of you, it affects how you treat your kids, how you treat your husband, how you treat your wife, how you treat other people, you know. And you might be like, yo, but how do I stop getting consumed by these emotions? You have to love the people that are making these stupid comments. You know what I'm saying? You have to look past the comments and how you think they shouldn't have made them, and think a little bit deeper about their life. You have to really just understand that they have to be going through something. Unhappy people, you know what they're going to spread? Unhappiness. Happy people spread happiness. Positive people spread positivity. Whatever emotion someone's trying to spread is a reflection of what they're feeling. Everything in this world is meant to reproduce after its own kind. Everything. You know what I mean? Like, insecure people advise other people to be insecure, or they rationalize insecurity. And then when insecure people meet other insecure people, they be like, oh, well, it makes sense that you're that way. I think the same way. They give each other a pat on the back, and then nobody change. And then both of them continue to be insecure for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, strong people are not going to justify insecurity. They're going to be like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you're an emotional liability. Like, you literally need everybody around you to do the things you prefer for them to do in order for you to be mentally stable, which means you're a basket case if they're not doing the things you prefer. You know what I'm saying? You know how much of a liability you're going to be to other people? You're going to hold them under a certain standard. You're going to be a liability to yourself, because all you're going to do is sit and waste time in your house reflecting on things that shouldn't have happened a certain way, and getting consumed by everything that has nothing to do with your purpose, your mission, your goals in life, and what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things you want to do, and for as long as you let 1 second of your time get wasted, you know what I'm saying, having a negative emotion towards these people, they're consuming your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these people, right? Some, you know, I know we refer to them as trolls or whatever. Like, some of these people, they just love getting people mad. Sometimes that's their hobby, you know? I used to be a troll. Man, it was the highlight of my day if I could get a reaction out of you. I was all about that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't care about you. That's why. And I didn't care about me either. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I needed at the time was somebody to look past how much of a troll I was being, and really tell me, yo, dude, you know how much time you wasted? You know how much, like, what about the things that you want to do in life? Don't you think that the time you spend on the internet trolling other people takes away from what you really want? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had someone to speak to me like that, yo, maybe I would have stopped being a troll a lot sooner. Like, you know, so you got to have empathy for these people. If you start a YouTube channel right now and some random person gets on there just to talk crap, like, I bet you they're unaccomplished. I bet you they're unsuccessful. I bet you they have goals that they have not attended to. I bet you they have responsibilities that they're neglecting. I bet you they have destructive relationships. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're toxic as hell. No one wants to be around them, you know? And people make themselves out to be people that no one wants to be around, and then they get surprised. They have the nerve to be surprised why no one wants to be around them. But yet if they met somebody who was identical to them in behavioral patterns, they wouldn't want to be around that person either. Like, I say this a lot, but there's a lot of people in this world that if they had an exact replica of themselves, an exact clone, like, they would, yo, if you met yourself, a lot of people, if you met you kick your own self out of your house. Like, that's how much you wouldn't like you, which is only a reflection. Like, if you think about that, once you really have self-awareness and you realize the qualities that you have that other people don't like, you'd realize that if you met other people that had those qualities, you wouldn't like them. You know what I'm saying? Some of you think it's cool to ask people for their services and then underpay them. You would never be accepting of that. You would never be accepting of doing a $200 job and getting $50 for it. You know what I'm saying? So why do we put other people through that? because we think we're doing them a favor, because, oh, I'm putting you on, because, oh, I'm giving you some money. Some money is better than no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we don't believe in rewarding people handsomely for their efforts. Why? But yet on the other foot, when the shoe's on the other foot, like when we're doing the job, we'll be damned if we do a $250 job and get $20 or get $50 or get $75. And it's like, bruh, like you're not about to, but we would expect other people to get, you know what I mean? To be content with that, you know? So yeah, man, I like yesterday's podcast, you know, I was talking about, you know, the best way to get through in life is to have a good skill set. On top of having a good skill set, when you become, if you're a reasonable person, a kind person, warm-hearted person, somebody who people actually want to be around, that's to your benefit, man. Like then when opportunities arise, people will come to you and they'll tell you about these benefits. These negative people, they don't know the benefits of being kind. If they knew how much upside there was, they'd be on the kind side of things. You know what I'm saying? It's because they don't understand the way that life works. Like bullies. Bullies don't understand that if they bully you today, when you have a $2 million company 15 years later, they don't understand why you're telling them no. Like, I remember what you did to me 15 years ago. So, you know, you rip up their application in front of them because you're still hurt about what they did 15 years ago. And they don't understand. They think that you should just give them a chance. You should, you know, but when they undercut you years ago, they undercut themselves 15 years later because they didn't know you was going to have a $2 million company that they would one day want to be a part of. So the upside, if they were kind, is you and them could have been business partners and they could have made a lot of money off of being kind to you because you would have presented an opportunity to them happily, gladly. You would gladly put them on and tell them, hey, man, I'm getting into business. I'm doing these things. You were always kind to me. You were always someone that I liked being around. And because of that only, that's the only reason, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you like to go into business with me? And then you go into business with this person and then you make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of being kind to people. Yo, like people don't understand that that's how life works. Like the people you abuse today, you might actually need them later. You might need something from them later. These are reasons to be kind to everybody, right? Because you don't know who you're going to end up needing, right? And if you spit in the face of the person you might potentially need, 15 years later, they might still hold a grudge against you and use that as an excuse as to why they don't want to bless you, as to why they don't want to give you something, as to why they don't want to work with you. And to a lot of people, you know, they would say, well, that's justified. You're justified to say no to somebody who bullied you. And, you know, people would be like, man, that person bullied you. Man, I wouldn't put him on. I wouldn't give him a job. I wouldn't do this, you know. And that's why it makes you so much of the bigger person. If you don't even care about what they did 15 years ago, imagine if you're the person who does have forgiveness. This is why forgiveness has the power to change the world. Because if you don't care how much you've been bullied back then when they want an opportunity and you say yes to them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not about what they did to you anymore. It's about you being the bigger person. And you sleep better at night being the bigger person. You know what I mean? Because like otherwise the way you probably wouldn't sleep, you'd be like, man, the nerve of people to treat me a certain way and then need something from me. And then you would get consumed by their injustice because you think that they shouldn't have been the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to focus on, man, I wonder what they're going through. I wonder what makes them be that way. I wonder what makes them, you know, be so hateful, you know, and really be curious, not because you're nosy, but actually because you're compassionate about these people. When you're more curious than you are critical, you'll be happier. More people are critical than they are curious. When you're more critical than you are curious, that means that everything that passes through your filter, you know, certain things land in a box of what you're going to criticize, right? And the only things that you criticize are the things that you think shouldn't be happening a certain way. You know, you have an idea for how you think other people should live. And it's better to have an idea for how you should live. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that you think unreasonable people should be reasonable, but they're unreasonable. What else would you expect from an unreasonable person besides being unreasonable? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else would you expect? We expect truth from liars. We expect kindness from evil people. We expect consideration from the unconsiderate. We expect compassion from the uncompassionate. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand that how some of your expectations on these people are not reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Because based on their current character, who they are right now, and I do believe that who they are right now, they're probably meant to be so much more. There's a good chance that they're living so below their potential and they have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably just don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? This is how Jesus could die on the cross saying, God, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. It means that they weren't created to be murderers. If only these people knew what their created value was, they would live a life different than what You know what I'm saying? They would live a life contradictory to how they're living it now. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul the Apostle, he had no idea who he was created to be. That's why he used to kill Christians. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how he went on to write most of the New Testament. You know, and he was an evil, messed up. If you want to think about people that don't deserve grace or people that don't deserve to be doing something, you know, think of Paul and how he wrote most of the New Testament and how, you know what I'm saying? Like people love Paul. They love his wisdom. You know what I'm saying? He was an amazing person in the Bible, you know? And before that, before he became an amazing person, he lived a life of less than because he didn't know any better. And that's why Jesus died on the cross saying, forgive these people. They don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? If only they saw what I see in them, what I created them to be, they wouldn't be the messed up people that they are now. You know what I'm saying? And when your mind takes you to that place where you start saying, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do, then you have patience. Corinthians says that love is patient. Anybody that you have the inability to be kind towards is for one reason: you lack patience for them. Because it's impossible to want to be kind towards someone that you have zero patience for. Because as soon as your patience runs out, then they get the wrath of, you know, they receive your wrath instead of kindness. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, it's a lot of things on my heart this morning, but I hope this is bringing value. I'm actually going to end this podcast now because I think I'm pretty much done with the topic and I've said everything necessary. But to wrap it up, you know what I'm saying? Just so that you get the full extent of it for those of you that, you know what I'm saying? I should have summarized it in the beginning with a couple sentences. And then again at the end, I got to start doing that more. But anyways, one, how to not get consumed by negative comments. You have to have compassion. You have to be empathetic towards these people. You have to love these people. You have to have a deep concern for these people. And your concern has to go deeper than your concern being to criticize them because they criticize you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it make you any better than them if they criticize you and then you criticize them for being a critic? Doesn't that make you a criticizer too? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you complain about other people that complain, doesn't that make you a complainer? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it'll make you no different than these people if your response, even internally, even if they don't see your response, you're still responding, even when you're not. You know, people think they're not responding, they are. You know, whatever you say in your mind, it's no different than actually saying it. Because once you say it in your mind, you feel the effects of saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, so anyways, so you gotta love these people, you know. It'll help you not be overran by them. It'll help you not be consumed by them. Because people that you love, they won't have the power to consume you. And there's a twisted perspective that I have to address before I close this podcast. And that's the perspective of the ones that you love the most have the power to hurt you the most. That's not true. The only thing that would make that true is the people that you love the most having the power to hurt you the most is because you have the most expectations on these people. And as soon as they fail your expectation of what you think that they need to be, now you're crying, now you're miserable, now you're depressed because they're not living up to your expectation. Expect nothing from people except for them to be what they prefer to be. Give people space to be whatever it is that they prefer to be, but also knowing that they could be so much more if only they cared about their potential, if only they cared about their purpose. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man, people just don't know who they are. A lot of people, you know, and don't take it personal that they're giving you crap about whatever it is that you're doing. Like, you're probably bringing an incredible amount of value. You're probably inspiring hundreds of people, thousands of people. People have probably changed their life financially because of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let you're changing people's lives probably if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a legitimate entrepreneur with ethics and you actually care about the customer more than you care about getting a sale out of them. Like, you genuinely care about the betterment of other people. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of good entrepreneurs that, man, they get so excited to see other people winning. They don't want to be winning by themselves. So please don't take it so personal to the point that you stop uploading content, that you stop creating content that helps somebody else because you're being consumed by people. You know what I'm saying? And the more you get consumed by people, the more you get into your shell, the more you get into a place where you don't know if you want to help anybody else because of the people that are unreasonable, but you expect them to be reasonable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what, you can't expect messed up people to not be messed up. You know what I mean? If you're going to have any expectations, let your expectation be in line with what people's character is, and know that they might die being that way, but also know that they have potential to be so much better, and love them for what they could be if they decided to change, instead of hating them for face value and what they currently are and how they don't meet the bar and how they don't meet the requirements or the criteria that you set on them. You know what I'm saying? They're not being the person that you think they should be. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is under any obligation to be any type of person. The unrighteous are not obligated to be righteous. The sinner is under no obligation to live a sinless life or sin-free life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what obligations do people have? You know what I'm saying? Once you realize that everything is choice, people are being messed up. It's within their free will to be messed up. And some people use their free will in a way that doesn't directly benefit you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to learn how to get stronger. You know what I mean? Like, you have to read books about mental fortitude. You have to listen to podcasts. You have to consume. Because if you don't consume information that makes you a better person, all you're going to do is consume negativity, criticize the negativity, wonder why people are acting the way they do, and then just continue to be consumed by them. Like, there's a comment that somebody made to you 10 years ago. 10 years later, someone makes the identical comment, and yet you still have a same triggered emotional response to it, which means in 10 years, you haven't overcome those type of comments, which means you haven't grown in that department. Whatever part in life you struggle in, there's wisdom that you need in that area. Whatever part, like, you know what I'm saying? If your relationships are suffering, you need relationship type wisdom, you know? If it's your finances, you need financial wisdom. If it's your, you know what I'm saying? If you always have anxiety, you need wisdom about that area. So, you know, I want to end with a quote from the Bible, which says, "My people perish for a lack of understanding. In all you're getting, get more understanding, because understanding saves your life." You know what I'm saying? People are getting destroyed by what they don't understand. I used to be suicidal because some damn girl didn't love me. Like, you know, now that I realize she's under no obligation to love me. She has the right to hate me. She has the right to make negative comments. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, negative comments, right? You have to believe that people have the right to make these negative comments. I know that sounds retarded, because for as long as you believe that they don't have the right, that's why you're miserable. That's why you're upset, because you obsess with how they shouldn't have made those comments. And that's all you know how to do, is obsess with what you think shouldn't be happening, instead of learning how to be adaptable and live inside of what is happening. Because this world doesn't give a damn about what you think should have happened. The world is going to continue to be the world. Some messed up people are going to continue to be messed up. And although we all have the potential to change and be so much better than what we are, there's a lot of people that just will never change. They're going to die negative. They're going to die leaving a negative YouTube comment somewhere. That's just going to be their fate. You know what I'm saying? And they just don't know the upsides of being kind. They don't know the upsides of, like, actually trying to bring value. Because if people knew the upsides of being kind, they would be on the other side of the fence, you know? So I don't know, whatever it is they think they get out of being that way. But, you know what I'm saying? People rationalize different things. And when they rationalize being a certain way, they continue being that way. So you might wonder, why are people the way they are? Because they have a mindset that makes that shit normal. They rationalize the way that they are. It makes sense to them, even though it doesn't make sense to you. And for as long as they keep telling themselves that it makes sense, they continue being those type of people. The shit that they do, literally one day, it has to make no sense to them. And then from that point on, now they have the option to change, because they realize the fault and the error in their ways. You know what I'm saying? So until they get to that point, they're going to continue being unreasonable, to continue being cheaters, liars, deceivers, negative comment posting type people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, the shit that we rationalize, you know, and then they feel justified in leaving those type of comments. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that they're not where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I did a podcast and someone, like, they had nothing but negative to say about it, I knew one thing was certain. There was a list of things that were probably wrong with their life. Number one, probably being their finances. You know how many people are miserable because they don't have the type of money they want to make? And I understand that somebody's, you know, you just heard that, you're about to say, well, money doesn't make you happy. You know, it's not meant to make you happy. It's meant to eliminate problems, like certain problems. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, money's meant to buy shit and pay bills. That's it. You know what I mean? And people would be happier if they had more money than they had bills, but they have more bills than they have money. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way life works, either you have too much money at the end of the month, or you have too much month at the end of the money. So most people are just miserable, man, because, like, they're not where you think, yo, you got to understand, right? Like, I want to tell you one last thing. I remember I have a friend who reported a Walmart employee for not looking excited to say hi to the customers. Yo, he works at fucking Walmart. How excited do you expect him to be, like, working there? You know how many people work at Walmart? They're there because no other place is going to hire them. Like, they have nowhere else they could go. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the moment, probably. I don't think these people are limited to Walmart, and I think their potential goes beyond Walmart. But at the moment, you think people are fucking excited to be at Walmart? So we take it so personal when we walk into Walmart and these people don't seem excited to greet us being there. They work at Walmart, yo. Like, they probably wanted to be a lawyer. They probably want to be a millionaire. They probably, you know what I'm saying? And they probably drag their feet every day in the morning to have to put on a damn Walmart shirt and a how can I help you badge on their shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like with their name on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They probably drag their feet to be in that position. So we take it so personal that these people are not happy to greet us, and we care nothing about what they could be going through that makes them miserable. I don't expect anybody that works at Walmart to be having the time of their life. Because I understand they work at fucking Walmart. I don't think anybody aspires to work there. You see what I mean? So that's why if I ever walk into Walmart and someone has an unreasonable attitude, the first place that my mind takes me is, well, you work at Walmart. Like, you probably then grow up saying, Mom, when I grow up, I want to work at Walmart. Like, who the hell says that? You know what I'm saying? So because I understand that, I'm not going to hold them under such pressure. What's up, Karina? I'm not going to hold them under such pressure to be whatever it is that I think that they need to be. Plus, on top of that, when you hold people under a certain criteria, you're only positioned to be upset by these people when they don't meet your standard. You know what I mean? So the best standard to have is a standard for your life, how you want to live, and be the best example to other people of the good way to be. You know what I'm saying? And man, you'll inspire people, man. Like, people will listen to you, people will watch you. You know, I have no idea who listens to these podcasts, but I know that I'm making a difference somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and another thing, if you're a social media type person, don't take it personal when you post shit and no one likes it. No one reposts it. No one retweets it. Just because someone doesn't like something, they don't put the like button or reshare, doesn't mean they didn't consume all of it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that probably consumes your content and they'll never let you know that they're consuming it. You know what I'm saying? So don't take it personal, and you know, growth, it's going to take a while to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw a meme today, and it was like, this is how people act when it's been 3 minutes and they're not rich yet, and they start throwing papers around their office. It's funny. I'm going to post it later. But that's really people's attitude, man. They just, you know, they want to get there quickly. So on a final note, to the people leaving negative comments to you, they're probably not where they want to be in life, with whatever that means, whether it be with their relationships, their finances, their marriages, their kids. And when they have negative energy, everything in this world is meant to reproduce after its own kind. Negative people reproduce the image of negativity. Kind people, positive people, they reproduce that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever spirit dwells inside of a person, that's what they manifest to the world. And that's what they try to, you know what I'm saying? They try to manifest that inside of you by getting a reaction out of you. You know what I'm saying? And the only way to neutralize that is actually loving the people that you complain about making negative comments. You know what I'm saying? And you might say that, well, that's hard to do. It's not about, is it hard? You know what I'm saying? It's about, is it worth your time if you learn how to love these people? Because I promise you, if you start loving them, you'll stop getting consumed by them and what you think they should stop doing. Because you'll only see them, you'll only give yourself permission to see them for what they could be if they cared about their potential. And you'll know that that place, whatever that place is for them, it's an amazing place that they have no idea exists, because they make all the time in the world to have so much idle time making negative comments on YouTube videos and on Facebook, you know, posts and this and that. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, broke people, there's a lot of broke people making negative comments. You know what I'm saying? And if they had a lot more money, they'd probably be enjoying life a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying money is everything, but what I'm saying is, like, a lot of broke people are miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of rich, happy people. And I know there's people on both sides of the fence, but man, having money eliminates a lot of problems, man. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's a good feeling to have more money at the end of the month than to have more month at the end of the money. So, and these people, they don't know how to be happy. And when they don't know how to be happy, then, you know, they won't know how to be positive, which, you know, and their comments are only a reflection of what they feel internally. So yeah, man, just gotta love these people, be patient with them. You know what I'm saying? And keep doing your marketing thing, whatever you do. I don't know what you guys sell or what you do. Keep doing it, no matter how many people choose to be negative. I want to end on this note, and I'm really done this time. Life is a numbers game. There's a percentage of people that make it into heaven. You might be like, well, how come everybody doesn't get into heaven? Well, God can't just accept everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't want to change. Some people just don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want to adapt. They don't want to, you know, and there's a place for those people. In this world too, there's a place for the people that won't adapt. It's called the land of the complainers. Like, that's where they go. They just complain all day about how they hate the way that the white man has all the money, or politics this and the left this and the right that and Trump this, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, if you think the president has any bearings on your future, then you're not doing good in the first place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think one man has control over your whole life. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, people are complaining about politics all day, complaining about shit that they cannot change, and neglecting to do the things that they could do if only they would pay attention to what is within their control. People rather dwell on what's outside of their control. So negative comments is literally outside of your control. You know what I'm saying? The only reason you wish that they would change is because your life would be more convenient if they stopped making these comments. Instead of wishing that they stopped making the comments, start wishing that you were stronger. You know what I'm saying? We wish life was easier. When you wish you were stronger, first of all, when you get stronger, life does become easier because you're stronger. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't complain about like things that people are doing because it's not about that anymore. It's about your goal, your mission in life, your purpose, and the things that you want to accomplish before you die. Your time is limited. I have no idea how much time you have left to be alive, but please don't spend it dwelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a sad day it would be when God shows you this is how much time you spent reflecting on negative comments, replying back to them, again, getting molded by the injustice of the world instead of getting molded by my spirit and being the thing that I created you to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how much time you spent masturbating all day. This is how much time you spent watching cat videos on YouTube. This is how much time you spent playing video games, and this is what I had lined up for your life if only you cared about your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people don't know their purpose. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I've been repeating myself a lot, but just really trying to give value, really trying to hammer it in and stuff, and you know, and yeah, man. Last thing, right? Words only matter for as long as you tell yourself that it does. So, you know, negative comments wouldn't even matter if you didn't tell yourself that it does. It matters because you think they shouldn't make it. And because you think they shouldn't make these type of comments, it now becomes your focus. Now that it becomes your focus has now been taken away from things that are actually good use of your time, such as, I don't know, making more money, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and if you're behind on your mortgage payments, I don't think negative comments is something you should worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your relationships are suffering, if you're about to go through a divorce, other people's negativity is not something you should be attending to right now. You know what I'm saying? I know a girl who, she's feeling suicidal. She has a husband. She has 2 kids. Like, I said something sarcastic, like just joking around. I said it on a Tuesday. She responded on a Friday. She got offended 3 days later. But when her life is a wreck, like, you know what I mean? Her responding to my sarcastic comment or how she believes I shouldn't have made it doesn't improve her life. It doesn't make her husband love her anymore. It doesn't make her less suicidal. It doesn't make her have better relationships with her kids. It doesn't improve her mental health. You see, because she focuses on dumb shit like that, she's going to continue to suffer for as long as stupid shit is her focus. You know what I mean? That's why people suffer. It's the things that they choose to focus on. Once she starts focusing on her marriage, her kids, not feeling suicidal, like consuming content that makes her happier, learning how to be happy, she'll get better. The problem is, I told her that I had good videos that could help her out, and she said, I heard all that positive shit before. Nothing that I see is going to change my life. So when you have that type of mindset, you continue being negative. So if you wonder why some of these people are being negative, maybe they have a perception of, I heard all that positive shit before and it's not going to change me. Like, I was just created to be this way. Some trolls really believe they were created to be trolls. Some evil ass people think they were made to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Some sensitive ass people think they were created to be sensitive and to cry after every comment that they read that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's like, you can change. You know what I mean? You can change. You can adapt. Humans are very adaptable. You could have a whole brand new personality and be a whole nother person. Like, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we focus on how hard it is to be something or to become something, that we rather stray away from becoming that one thing because it's too much resistance. We take the path of least resistance. That's why we don't grow very much. Take the path of most resistance. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I left my roommate's house, I hated living with him, but I wanted to live with other, like, my prayer to God was, send me more unreasonable people. I want to be around people that are completely out of their mind so I can learn how to overcome these people instead of being overcome by them. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever the worst people in this world are, I want to interact with these people. I want to meet them. You know what I'm saying? So that I could be grounded. And because 2 things are going to happen. Either I'm going to be a product of their injustice, or I'm going to learn how to love these people. And when I learn how to love them, I learn how to overcome them. And then when I overcome them through love, now I have the power to change these people without directly telling them that I'm sick of their attitude or they need to change. You know what I'm saying? Just with kindness. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to notice how they can't get a reaction out of me. It becomes so intriguing that they start asking questions, and you know, and then they start listening to what I have to say, and I become an indirect mentor in their life. And then now I have the power to shape their life, because instead of being consumed by their foolishness, you know what I'm saying? They're getting consumed by my wisdom. And then as they change, they go out into the world and they change other people. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, man. Anyways, on that note, I'm out. I hope I added value. Love you guys. And yeah, man. See you on the next one.